What's up, everybody? I'm John Middlekauff. You know what I need you to do. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. We got content for days reacting to every NFL game all the time, every single day. Subscribe, like the videos. Let's go.
A couple years ago, the 49ers drafted a kicker in the third round. Now, this was a time because of the Trey Lance trade. They didn't have any first-round picks. So typically, the first picks that they had would be at the end of the second round because they had been winning. So they weren't picking till like the late 50s. So for the first night and even a long way into the second night, the 49ers didn't have a draft pick. And they had a roster that would be reminiscent now of the Ravens, of the Vikings. If I draft a guy in the second or third round, it is going to be very difficult for that guy to start on my team. Hell, to make the team. He's only making the team because of his draft slot. There is no guarantee that he's going to actually earn that spot based on training camp and on the field. But that's kind of the way the league works. I've believed when you're in a situation like that, and you can be, a little greedy, that if you take a kicker or a punter at the end of the third round, taking a guy in the first couple rounds is insane. But you start getting to the third round, there's that thing called compensatory picks. And the 49ers were getting a ton of them because they had a bunch of dudes like Robert Saleh, Mike McDaniel's half black, these guys getting jobs and them getting extra picks at the end of the third round. So they had like several picks at the end of the third round, and they used it on a kicker. And this kicker, Jim Harbaugh used to say when he coached him at Michigan, death, taxes, and Moody's. It's guaranteed. Moody was that automatic. And I'll never forget my first year in Philadelphia, David Akers was the kicker. And he had a fantastic career. And that year it got a little weird. He missed some kicks, I think specifically in the playoffs, and Howie let him walk. And he went on to the 49ers the next year, and he made the Pro Bowl. And he was probably 35, 36 at the time. Well, the Eagles didn't have a kicker because Akers walked. So what do? We drafted a kicker in the fourth round. I don't even remember the guy's name. He was a star, like all-American, all Big 12 kicker from Nebraska. All the guy did in college was make kicks. So it's like, draft him in the fourth round. And I'll never forget because at practice with Bobby April, our special teams coordinator, whose son, Bobby April Jr., I think now is the defensive coordinator for Stanford. Love that family. Great people. I used to help him with special team stuff, whether it be at practice or during the week charting shit. It was a shitty job, but it was fun. Bobby was cool. And I remember I was doing times, I was charting stuff, and I would kind of have to stand by Bobby and kind of by Coach Reed, who would stand right behind the kicking unit during that period of practice. And usually during that period of practice, if you have, a normal kicker, right, let alone a good kicker, most people aren't paying attention, right? During training camp, people are dicking around, your starting units are on the side drinking Gatorade water, bullshitting. Hell, even when I was a scout or when I was at Fresno State, you just bullshit on the side. They make some kicks, and you just move on to normal part of practice. But when you have a new kicker, especially drafted a guy, like everyone's kind of watching him. And I remember him missing some kicks and it getting weird fast. And the one thing with kicking, unlike these other positions, confidence is a huge, huge element of it. And kicking, unlike playing defensive tackle or wide receiver, it's not really that physical. Right? It becomes much more mental. It's like being a baseball player, being a golfer. You're spending the majority of your time thinking. And once you lose it, I think it's kind of gone. Because not only do you start questioning yourself, I think there's a natural insecurity where you start thinking that other people are questioning you. Because it's not like you're lifting the same weights as these guys. Practice is the same for you. You kind of live a different life. Though, if you're a third-round pick, you're probably making $1 million. It's a great life. But the moment you start missing kicks, in general, unless you are such a high-level player, have a bunch of equity like Justin Tucker, but even toward the end with Justin Tucker, before all the news broke, it was like, God, he might just be old and done. Remember the last couple of years of Adam Vinatieri when he was old. But he got a little bit of the benefit of the doubt because, this guy's a Hall of Famer, right? This guy's a Hall of Famer. But often when a kicker has no equity and he starts missing kicks, you go, he's done. Because the difference of him, once he starts missing, and 10 guys on the street does not exist. Yet, if your right tackle has a bad game, you can't just cut your right tackle and find some dude who's at home that played in the NFL the last couple of years and replace him with that. The gap's too big. But with kicking and punting, kicking even more than punting, I think it's pretty easy to replace the kicker.
We are extremely excited to announce our new presenting sponsor, Hard Rock Bet. Everyone knows and loves their hotels and casinos, but now you can use the top-rated Hard Rock Bet sportsbook to place all your NFL bets this season. Hard Rock Bet is the only legal sportsbook in the state of Florida and is also available in Arizona, Ohio, New Jersey, Indiana, Tennessee, Virginia, Illinois, and Colorado, with more states to come. You can also play on Hard Rock Bet's online casino if you are in New Jersey. As we gear up for the NFL season, sign up for Hard Rock Bet and make a $5 bet, and you'll get $150 in bonus bets if you win. Head over to Hard Rock Bet, sign up, and make your first deposit today.
And I believed that it's like, what the hell? If your team's good enough, take a guy in the third round, at the end of the third round. It's like pick 99. Who cares? That was dumb. And that's a complete waste to pick. And I believe that under no circumstances, probably until like the 7th round, should you take a special teams player. Because I Googled it, like, oh, where was David Akers drafted? Oh, he was an undrafted free agent. Where was Justin Tucker drafted? Oh, yeah, he was an undrafted free agent. Most of these guys are undrafted free agents. So wasting a pick on something that is so out of your control, because these guys' mental stability, just as quickly as it goes, it's like Paul Azinger said, the famous golfer, that confidence is a powerful thing. When you got it, you never think you're going to lose it. And when it's gone, you never think it's going back. And anyone that's played golf can relate to that. You can be like, God, I just had 2 birdies in a row. I feel like Tiger Woods. And then the next hole, you can blast one out of bounds, and all of a sudden, like, I don't even know. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know how to swing a golf club. And I do believe with kickers, like with quarterbacks, look at J.J. McCarthy. Threw one of the worst passes he's probably thrown in his entire life, that pick 6. It doesn't get any worse than that. What did he do? Shook it off, threw a couple more passes, and he was good. You just kind of battle through it. Like if you're a basketball player. You know, I went 0 for 10. What's Steph Curry? Just keep shooting. Keep firing. Get to the rim. Just keep going. Like it's like I haven't got a pressure all day. Well, just keep rushing. You've been using the bull rush. Try an inside counter. Try a speed rush. Mix it up. Just keep going. Keep playing hard. Good things will happen. Mental sports, golf, baseball, kicking, like trying hard doesn't work. It's actually the opposite. But that means you got to like take off and pull back the reins and think even more. And that's where you get a problem. So the 49ers cut their kicker. I think what it brings into light, under no circumstance can you take a kicker high anymore. It's just bad business. Because I would say nothing translates less than, oh, this guy was an All-American at a top 10 program. It doesn't mean shit. Honestly, it means nothing. Because you can get him and he immediately can suck. And I don't give the 49ers any credit. They should have done this last year. They should have done this in training camp. They needed him to miss a 27-yard kick against Seattle, which easily and probably should have cost them the game. They got very, very lucky to win that game, and Jake Moody tried to lose it for him. And listen, most coaches, and I was texting with someone the other day, I think defensive coaches actually have more respect for kickers because, like, in a perfect world, they want to play in lower scoring games. In a lower scoring game, the kicker has a huge impact on the game, right? Like, look at John Harbaugh and Justin Tucker. Look at Jim Harbaugh, who's an offensive guy, but technically feels like a defensive guy. A lot of these defensive coaches, Mike Tomlin now with Boswell, like they value the kicker highly. Kyle Shanahan can't stand the kicker. He thinks if he could vote, if they ever had in a league meeting, like you can just get rid of field goals, he would vote to get rid of them. And listen, I do understand if you value offense or defense, thinking like, how is this a part of the game? It's like Ben Hogan in golf famously thought like putting shouldn't exist, right? He's like, you hit the fairway, you hit a great shot from 200 yards, and then I 3-putt. It's like, well, yeah, it is part of the game. Like kicking's part of the game. And when you have a bad kicker, and most teams don't have Josh Allen or Lamar Jackson, so you're just going to, like the 49ers are going to play in a ton of close games. You had to cut this guy. And he got like way more shots, just like most people get more shots. Caleb Williams, if Caleb Williams was Brock Purdy and, 7th round pick that got an opportunity to start and played bad, he would not play anymore. but you get more opportunities when you're drafted high. You just do, because of the money people invest in you, because people view that you have better traits. And Jake Moody is a great example. If Jake Moody had been an undrafted free agent from Michigan that had made the 49ers and missed all these kicks and been objectively not a very good player, he would have been cut 12 months ago. They wouldn't even have thought twice. They would have thrown him in the trash, as they do with a ton of players on the team. That's part of the NFL. Guys get cut and transitioned in and out all the time. But there are certain players, and every team has this, maybe like a second-round pick, maybe a first-round pick who's not that good, who probably should be cut, but it's like, we're just not going to do it yet. So they finally cut him, and I'd argue it's a year too late, but better late than never after week one, which could have been a disaster. And I just don't think there's a team in the league. I do think, whenever a team's going through a spell, the Eagles had this happen, the 49ers have had this happen. I'm sure there are other teams. The Lions had this happen last year, where we try to figure out, like, why are there so many injuries? It's like, I don't know, some guys, sometimes you just go through a stretch where guys are breaking legs, pulling hamstrings, and hurting shoulders. But at least in football, if you go to training camp or in a preseason game or a regular season game, when you see a guy injured, you're like, hey, George Kittle just pulled his hamstring. Like, it happened on him running a go route down the seam. Not ideal. Obviously, it's kind of a disaster, but everyone understands it. He was running, pulled his hamstring. I don't think there's any team that I ever remember seeing more guys get injured that, like, play the game, have success in the game. You see, like, in the locker room highlights after the game, everyone's high-fiving, breaking down the team. And then on Monday or Tuesday, it'll be like, a little update here. Brock Purdy, we're adding him to the injury report. He's got a fucked up toe and a bum shoulder. You're like, what? What'd you say? The 49ers have guys who finish games, look completely fine, and then come Monday or Tuesday are injured. So they lead the league. They literally had, last night in the Vikings game, the linebacker who pulled his hammy had to wait to get into the tent because the center was in there. The 49ers tent is so big, it fit Trent Williams and George Kittle at the same time. They have a large tent because they know that multiple players might be in the tent at the same time. The Vikings just have a normal tent. It's like there's only room for one player. I would imagine most teams that's the case. Not the 49ers. It's like, God, you what size lot do you live on? Oh, I live on an acre. That's like the equivalent of the 49ers. Like, we got the extra large tent. So it's just, I can't even, I don't even know what to say, because at this point in time, you just expect, I don't even care if the game ends and you haven't heard anything. Just know come Monday or Tuesday, more injuries will happen.